Hello everyone and welcome back to the RSC EU Season 11 League Play. My name is Meritz and joining me opening the stream today is Ice Davey. How's it going?
It's going very well, thank you. I'm suited up in my RSC merch and I'm ready to go for this, what's looking like an absolute stacked cast tonight. I'm really actually looking forward to these matches.
Yep, and starting us off in the Challenger Division, it's a top of the table clash in Ignis. We have Feather taking on Primordial. What are your initial thoughts on that matchup?
It's looking like an absolute cracker because Primordial found themselves in ninth despite being tipped, I believe, in power rankings potentially to win the conference. So a bit of a disappointing start, but they've won the last 3 in a row and they are on a bit of a tear. So Feather are unbeaten as well through the first 4 weeks of the season. As you can see there, they're up in second place in the table. So this is definitely a team on the rise versus a team at the top. So it could be a very, very interesting matchup.
Yep, Feather taking 16 wins out of their last possible 20. So they will be a force to be reckoned with coming into this series. But Primordial, like you said, they're the David to Feather's Goliath. So I think this could be a very good matchup, and I could see it going either way.
Just looking at the team stats here, I think the key thing for me is the goals against for Feather. They are, I think that's the lowest in the tier at 48. They've got the best goal difference. They're right up there in the scoring stats, and as I said, they are unbeaten through the first 8 weeks of the season. So defensively, looking very strong, but you can't look past Primordial as a threat to them. As I said, made a roster change beginning of week 5, and we have to see. Looks like it's gelled pretty well. They won the first match 3-1 last night, so it'll be very interesting to see how they manage the stream. Have they integrated the new player, and can they disrupt and give Feather their first loss of the season?
Yep, maybe they're still in that Hollywood phase given that roster change, so maybe that momentum will carry them through and hopefully get them to a positive week, maybe that 5-3, 6-2. But who knows what's going to happen? You're up against Feather, you have to take your chances against them. Like I said, best defensive record in the division, so it's definitely going to be a tall task for them coming into this.
Yeah, on the Primordial side, I think clearly the biggest threat is Borsville. He was my teammate last season and he was a 10 out of 10 all-star player. Clearly is a great player in this tier. Has a few internet connection issues, so it'll be interesting to see if they rear their heads tonight. But also Source there with some very solid stats. Nearly 1 assist a game as well. That can't be looked at that too hard, because that's a really good statistic and over a save a game. So Source is really putting in some work for his team. So it'll be interesting to see how that duo with Dan coming in as well. I believe that's the team playing tonight. So it'll be very interesting to see how that comes together.
Yeah, but over on Feather's side of things, it's Sharky who catches my eye mainly. 80% win rate from 30 games played and 44 goals. That is 1.5 goals per game pretty much. So he is, their top player on the attacking side of things. And Kazir, in contrast, 41 saves in 32 games. So he's a lot more defensive player. He will be, their concrete player, allowing them to not concede as many goals as any other team in the tier.
First match up on Manfield night. We've got everyone in the lobby ready to go, so I think we can get this first series of week 5 Friday night underway.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to it. But coming into now, our predictions for the series. Ice Davey, what do you think will happen in this series?
I mean, the stats lead you towards Feather. They really do. But I'm gonna go with Primordial here. I think Primordial have got the sauce. They've got what it takes to take a 3-1 victory here. I think. What about you, Meritz?
They quite literally do have the sauce. I'm thinking, with Feather being how good they are, if you offer a draw to Primordial, they will shake your hand off. So that is what I'm going to go for. A 2-2, nice and balanced way to start off Friday night. But we see game 1 is underway here, and it started quite quickly. Feather on the attack early on, but it's going to be Primordial putting on some pressure. Rakizla getting it out of defense, but Sauce going to try and play it towards the backboard where Borsville was waiting, but Sharky instead is going to clear it. And it's going to be Feather with the first attack of the game. Kazir not really getting stuff. Rakizla is waiting. It's a good shot, and that's the opening goal of the series. Good passing play infield, and Feather take the lead.
Very cagey start from Primordial. You can see what they're trying to do with balls sitting on the back wall. They're looking for the passes, they're looking for those out plays, but they're just not quite there on defense. Man stationary in net, and that's an early lead to Feather. There's a double commit on the kickoff, but it works out in their favour. Sharky puts it across, but not quite. Kazir's up on the ceiling, looks to be challenged by Source, but Source misses the ball. Borsville's able to take it, beats one, but Sharky's up early to challenge, and I love to see that speed, that confidence early on in game one on stream. Can be a bit nervy, can be a bit cagey, but we're seeing some really strong, committed play here. But that's a bit of a whiff from the goalkeeper there, and Bors takes advantage to level up the series. Kazir just trying to get the little dribble in. Bors comes in, bit of a speculative shot, but Reticlaw just takes it the wrong way, and that is 1-1.
Yeah, maybe swinging a little bit too wide there to try and make that save. So now it is a tied game, just over a minute gone, and Primordial now have every chance of taking this further. Sauce picks up in the middle of the field, 1 versus 1. He gets the flick. It's quite poor in all honesty. It'll be an easy enough save for Feather as they come down the other end with Sharky. Gets 150 pass, but Borsville is there to make the clear. He gets another 50. Sharky going to try and look for his teammate, but Sauce will get that 50 quick enough. And now it's going to come towards the net. Kazir puts on the backboard, no one there to defend it. Sharky will get the follow-up, and Feather are back in the leads.
Goals galore in this game so far, but in all honesty, all 3 goals coming from defensive mistakes, some really sort of tentative goalkeeping, some nervy goalkeeping, and hopefully that all tightens up a little bit as we move through this series. But just as I said, a bit of confidence, not on defense for sure. Not yet anyway.
Yep. But maybe it's just, early series nerves. Obviously you're on stream, so you've got that pressure of people watching your every move. And maybe we'll see, the teams ease into it a little bit. See a pinch attempted there by Sauce and I believe Borsville. But it won't work out. It's Sharky going to try and take it downfield. Dan getting in the way of that one, but just buys Feather that little bit more time. Sauce spin it towards the middle. Double commit, not capitalised for Quizlot. Will be getting demoed on that front line. The ball trying to be taken away by Dan. Trying to get the little pop. Unable to do so. And with 2 minutes gone in this game, how do you think the pendulum is swinging?
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Primordial. I'm seeing like commitment in the opponent's half. I'm seeing them rotating, cutting the rotations and challenging the balls early. They're not letting Feather dribble out from their half and get an easy place, but it's just looking a little bit tentative on. That's a good shot, but a good save from Borsville. And it comes across again, and Sharky's able to force the ball in with a 50, and that's 3-1. It's just looking really tentative on defense for Primordial, but I'm liking what I'm seeing in attack. They just need to clear up this defense at the moment.
Yep, and I feel like that'll come with time. Also, there is that stream nerves, which I just mentioned, so maybe that's playing into things a little bit, but Feather will be happy with those goals nonetheless. Now Kazir straight off the kickoff, good ball control there, just unable to guide it on target, and Borsville will take it clear. Finds, I believe that was Dan, but he just can't quite guide the hit on target. And they're still on offense here with Kislow. Will get away. Double commits from Feather. Sharky will get the hit. And it's a easy clear from Borsville. Shot there wide, but Sauce can't quite reach it. Kazir 50. Straight into Sauce, who'll manage to get clear for Dan to follow up. But still Feather on the offensive, and a big boom will relieve some of the pressure for Primordial. A good shot on net. Kazir forced it into action. And still quite a lot back and forth. I don't think Primordial will find a way to break through just yet, unless they change things up.
Not looking likely, but Feather are giving them opportunities with a fair few double commits in this game so far. They just haven't been punished for them yet. And I think if Primordial are able to pick up the pace a little bit, solidify their defense and really punish these double commits, and there's another one from Primordial. Bors is up early, but just doesn't win the 50 with Kazir. Cross net, but that's easily knocked away by Dan. Source off the wall, but again, there's no one there to follow up the clearance and really complete the job there. Source is going to take the ball here. Speculative punt forward, easy save by Sharky. Into the corner, where there's a nice bump and allows Sharky to take the ball over the midfield line. Dan's up early, but not quite there this time. Bot with a nice Sharky with a nice demo allows Bot to take the shot. again, just a little bit speculative, a little bit sort of punting it around midfield at the moment, lacking the control we might expect to see from a top of the table challenger clash so far.
Yeah, but maybe that's what Feather is wanting. Obviously, they have that 2-goal cushion, so maybe they're doing that on purpose, just run the clock down and deny Primordial any more opportunities. A little bit of a team bump there between Kazir and, I believe, Rakizla. And it's going to be a good clear from Sharky. Fine, Rakizla. He's going to pop up. Kazir up early, using all his boost to get on the backboard, and it's going to be a good clear from Borsville, but it's going to knock some more seconds off the clock. The Sharky will just take his time getting the flick past one. Dan is going to put that one towards net. Kazir is there to follow it. Another double commit from Feather, but it's not going to matter as the clock will expire and Feather take game number 1.
Very cagey game. I think it's a lot of defensive mistakes, a lot of sort of cheap goals to concede. I think if you're a Primordial, you'll be encouraged by some of the signs, but you'll be a little bit worried about your defense. But as you say, game 1 on stream, I expect both teams to improve. It's just about whether Primordial can really punish the Feather double commits and find a way, because I feel like they started off this game looking for some nice passes and really trying to command the midfield, and then they kind of turtled up a little bit in defense and made some mistakes. So hopefully both teams can step on the gas a little bit and improve themselves. But it's a really good start by Feather, and my prediction is not looking too good at the moment.
Yeah, you could really tell when Feather really got themselves into that game. You know, they started winning more and more 50s and just finding each other. And that's when the goals started to come, because they're picking up 3 assists that game. So he's the playmaker on that team, especially in this game. But there was flashes of, you know, dominance from Primordial. And I think if they can carry that over into next games and maybe prolong it and find that goal to, you know, assert themselves on the game, I think they'll have a chance in this series.
Absolutely, I think we know this. We know the talent on this Primordial team. It's been proven in the last few seasons, so I expect them to improve. And I think as we start game 2 on Forbidden Temple, I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see a much cleaner game. We're going to see some absolute bangers of goals, maybe even a goal of the season contender. I can't promise anything, but hopefully we see something magical from these two teams.
Yep, starting a little bit cagey in the corner there for Primordial, but they manage to restore some normality as they get the ball clear. A good link up there, Rukizlaw. It's a good power shot towards the net, but Borsville will take it away, and it just floats back across the centre because you're the only one up. And the bump from Rukizlaw actually bumps him into the save, and now Primordial more awkward. Can Feather capitalise on it? No, they can't, because you're just going to send it back towards the net for Primordial to clear away once more. And now they're on the attacking end with just over 45 seconds gone in game 1, and Feather will just want no part of the ball on their side of the field.
What's really impressing me about this Feather team is they don't make many mistakes. So they have double committed a few times in game 1, but they're very solid with their touches. They barely waste possession. They barely miss a touch, and it's very efficient, very solid Rocket League. They're looking to disrupt Primordial in their own half as well, and it's really getting the pressure for them. That's a speculative shot from Dan that nearly comes through. There wasn't really a keeper there, so that was a chance. And it's 50'd into midfield for Bors, but he can't find a teammate with a touch. And Source there, just challenging his own teammate, but gets the touch up quickly to challenge. And Dan's pumping that across midfield, because he's a bit awkward facing the wrong way, but gets the clearance. And Sharky, that's a good touch away from Bors, who was looking to control the play. And Kazir with the shot, but that's off target. So chance for Primordial to build from the back here.
It's been a really cagey affair, just like game 1, and that's a good shot, but Borsville is more than equal to it. But Feather starting to put the pressure on, Sauce gets bumped, left a little bit awkward on the Primordial backline, but Borsville is just being so solid on defense, and he's got it away every single time. And now they're coming in the round. Dan gonna go by himself, he gets the dunk, and Primordial take the lead in game 2.
That's exactly what we want to see from this Primordial team. Dan up, nice little touch, makes it really awkward on the corner of that, where the wall starts and the pitch ends. That's a really awkward place to be with your car, and he challenges really nicely, and that is exactly what Primordial needs. They're able to take the lead, potentially play some really solid defense, and try and look to take this game too.
Yep, and they'll be hoping to hold on, because we know how many chances Feather can create, so I don't think they'll be any better off, certainly trying to double their lead, because, if quick Feather can come back, and Sharky, he's going to try and do it himself, the double tap, just a little bit wide. The attack is still on here, because they're trying to chase. Dan send it to the corner where Borsville is waiting, he'll send it towards that blue corner, but Feather will try and take their time a little bit. Sauce caught backwards, but Dan manages to get a hit off the backboard, and Sauce bumping into his own teammate there, maybe not looking his best in this series so far. But Primordial are winning game 2, and that is all that really matters.
You can see what Sauce is trying to do. He's trying to disrupt the play. He went for a demo on that previous play, just missed it. But you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to be the aggressors, the disruptors in the opponent's half, and it's working. They're also disrupting their own teammates, which is less than ideal. But as you say, for the moment, they're holding out on defense. Just looks like there's a mistake in there if Feather really put in the way. That's a really nice catch by Kazir, but just can't quite find the touch off or a teammate. And Sharky's able to find the shot. Dan's flailing around in the net, and that is... it's just Sauce can't quite get the length on the clearance. Gives Sharky a free shot, and Dan just can't quite make the save. And as I said, little mistakes like that are going to get punished at this level. So to see how Primordial can bounce back. It's still in this game, minute and a half left. Tied 1-1, every chance of winning game 2. So you just got to keep things solid, and it's a double touch off the ball, and Sharky just can't quite find the follow-up. And this Feather team, you can see the mechanics, you can see the skill level on show here, and they're just being given time to make the plays. Just as I say that, Borsville's given all the time as well.
Yep, and with just over a minute remaining, this is just the time that Feather need. You can see how quickly pressure can build, and conceding was the last thing that Primordial want to do, because so much pressure will build now. Sharky putting that one just wide, so many good shots in quick succession, but none of them finding the back of the net. And Primordial might be counting themselves a little bit lucky that none of those went in. There's still a lot of time on the clock. Sharky trying to do it by himself, and Kazir is there, and Feather are back in the lead, and you have to say it was coming for quite a while now.
The mechanics are on display here from the Feather team, but I think the critical part of that was Sauce on 0 boost. It looked like they were being boost starved in their own third, and that's an absolute killer for a team. You really just can't find the clearances you need to get the ball away from your own net, and it was coming from the equaliser. You just got the sense that this Feather team are warming their mechanics up, they're warming their control up, and they are looking every bit like a team that's unbeaten in this league so far.
There's really no denying that they are deserving to be in the lead right now, but Borsville trying to say something about it. Sharky will get it clear, and now into the last 15 seconds, chances getting slimmer and slimmer of Primordial hoping to get a win in this series. The last 5 seconds sent long. Can they do something now? Dan hits it low, not quite what they're wanting. 50 goes straight to Borsville. We may have a chance here. Takes to the ceiling. Can he get the hit? No, he can't, and Kazir will get the save. And Feather 2-0 up.
Oh, I wanted it. I wanted it. He had a chance, and he can hit those. I know he can hit those. Agonising chance there for Borsville, just to level up the game with an insane shot in 0 seconds. But it's that Primordial defense again. They're really struggling. I'm not sure if it's communication or it's the nerves on the stream, but they just don't look like they have the clear communication in defense. They're sort of cutting each other up, bumping into each other. It just doesn't look like an organized defense, and Feather are taking advantage of it. Absolutely, bossing this game really at the moment. They're creating chances, they've got the mechanics, they've got the play, and they're making less mistakes, less double commits in this game. I feel like this could be a sweep on the cards here if we're not too careful.
Yeah, but Primordial, they have won 3 series on the bounce, so they still have something in the tank. Hopefully, we saw those flashes of good gameplay again, but maybe it just wasn't enough. They need to turn that pressure into goals, and it's not what they're doing. So they just need to do more of that, be more accurate, and just find each other more, because so many times they're going for solo plays, and Feather are countering that perfectly. So they need to change things up, try and play with each other instead of around each other, and they'll find themselves having a better chance coming into these last 2 games.
I want to see more aggression from this Primordial team as well. We've seen Source attempt some demos and some bumps. I want to see more of that. I want to see more disruption of Feather in their own third. So if they can get that going, they will create chances as we start game 3 on Sovereign Heights. And it starts with some early Feather possession, countered nicely in defense. That's a difficult touch. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Kazir, take
see
a
this
bow.
again. What a finish.
Take a bow, Kazir. What a shot. It's just in the wrong net, unfortunately. And now Primordial have the lead. Pretty unfortunately for Feather, but it was a very nice shot, you have to say. And Primordial will be saying thank you. This could be 2-0. Sauce finds it on target. And it's a kickoff goal. And I think Feather's morale might be a little bit down after that. Or they might just be laughing it off.
I only hesitated there because I didn't think that was an own. I was just like, surely that's not an own goal. I was like, yeah, oh, no, it is. It is. We've already had the fail of the week call in the game chat, maybe so. But still, an early 2-goal advantage, something that Primordial haven't had the luxury of this series so far. And it's up to them now to really solidify this defense, because Feather, knowing that they've got the draw in this series, can really come out and show what they're capable of. You know, they know they've got at least a draw. They will remain unbeaten. So, you know, it's up to the Primordial team to show them that they can defend now.
Yeah, I think Feather will just be, you know, trying to play a little bit more extravagant, just try and secure the win, because there are 2 goals down, but they have a lot of time, and we know how easily they can score goals. They can just force it through whenever they like, and I think if Primordial aren't careful, this lead could slip within the blink of an eye. See more pressure here from Primordial. Pass across central. Sharky puts back in the mix. Borsville can't get the hit, and Sharky, that one's just going to roll in. Bit of a, you know, mishap on defense there from, I believe, Borsville, and it's 2-1.
Actually turned out to be a really nice double touch to himself, to be honest. Just involved a few other players missing in the process, but a really nice finish from Sharky, and that's exactly what we said. It's, you know, these plays from Feather, these mechanics coming out, they know they're capable, they know they can turn it on almost whenever they like, and that's a really powerful asset, particularly in the challenger tier. Knowing you've got those mechanics to fall back on is such a powerful thing at this kind of level.
Yep, and we see them come downfield again. Sharky putting that one just high and wide, but Kazir's there to follow up, and now Borsville winning that 50 all by himself. He goes high. Rekislo gets the save and Sauce. A little bit of an overcommit maybe, because now Sharky can try and take it away, but Dan, good 50 to buy his team a little bit of time to get boost. And Borsville just send it back, try and get a 50. But it's just going to be sent away once again by Sharky. Rekislo trying to get on the end of it, but can't. Sharky's still there anyway. A little bit, you know, frantic there on the attack from Feather, sending everyone to just try and get the ball into the net, but didn't work out in the end. And now pressure from Primordial.
Yeah, hopefully they can keep this up for a little bit to relieve themselves on defense, because it seems like every time Feather come forward they look threatening. Well, Bors is going to take this out of the corner. Just pass it straight to Kazir. That's a shot on target, but well saved on the defense by Dan. He's got another chance for 50 across the box, but again, it's dealt with fairly well on defense. So here's a chance. Sharky with the shot, and he finds the bottom left, bottom right corner even. And then suddenly, just like that, only a minute or so gone since, actually probably 2 minutes gone since the quick 2-goal lead, and we are back level. A really nice finish by Sharky. He's really turned it on this game. He's had a very good series, actually, to be fair to him. But now it's a test of resolve for Primordial. You've had a lead in the last game, you couldn't convert it. You've got a lead in this game, and it's back to 2-all, and a miss off the back wall from Dan, but Source is there to collect. He's able to take a touch up the wall, but just doesn't quite land on it, and has got the 0 boost as well. Again, a bit of a feature in the last few games is Source perhaps struggling a little bit for boost management, but he gets a nice little touch there, but Kazir's just up to save it again. Again, this Feather team is very solid, very efficient on their touches. They're reading what Primordial are doing, and they're able to counter their every move.
And it's that last goal that happened about 40 seconds ago all starts from a clear going across the middle, just practically giving them possession. That's not what you want to do against a team like Feather, who just take their chances at every opportunity. You really need to just send it long and send it wide, because if you send it across that middle, someone will be there to put a shot on net and really put pressure on your backboard. So you really need to be careful And just like I said, an overcommit. Sharky gets the goal because of Queer that went middle, and now it's Feather in the lead once again.
A massive overcommit from Primordial, and Boars isn't back in the third man position, and that's Sharky for his hat-trick, and it just gets a sense of there's a bit of desperation creeping in now for Primordial. They're challenging things, or having an extra player challenging when they shouldn't be, and this Feather team have remained resolute, they've remained calm. They even 2-0 down after 30 seconds. They know they're capable of getting back in this. And that's exactly what they've done. And they've turned the tide thanks to a hat-trick from Sharky.
Yep, and now they just have a minute to hold on, which, it is an easier task than, Primordial having to hold on, but a little bit of a mishap there because they're managing to recover it. And they get the clear away, and now they'll have the pressure because it's just Borzo back. He's going to opt to just boom it away, but Kazir is there. Little touch of sealing. A little bit of showboat in there with the stall. And that's a very risky clear. You can't be doing that. I've reiterated so many times. It happened again, and someone was there to capitalise. And now it's 4-2.
Yeah, really nice finish from Bot there. Just capitalising on some more lax defensive play, and I think that's been the theme of the last coming up to 3 games now. It's Primordial look like they've got something on the offense, but the defense has really struggled to stop the Feather threats. They're just so efficient with their touches, and there's always a man to pick up a second ball in their opponent's third. But that's a nice touch from Borsville to give themselves a chance. There's 1 goal, 20 seconds left. There's every chance. A nice read coming off the wall there. And a nice finish with no keeper in net. It gives them a chance. It's their first goal in the last 4 minutes, so hopefully it gives them a bit of an impetus to go and get this equaliser.
Yep, 20 seconds, it is doable, and that's just the kickoff for it. Can Sauce guide it on net? He can. A little bit too weak to really make an impact though. Borsville, good speed, because you're no boost in the back line. It's a poor clear. Dan is there, but the shot isn't good enough. But they still have the ball. Borsville trying to do it by himself, but he can't. And Sharky gets the good clear, and that looks like game 3 will be in the books, and Feather have secured the series win.
They needed to create those chances, Primordial, 2 or 3 minutes before then. Yeah, you can't be leaving that sort of pressure to the last 20 seconds. Need to be putting that kind of pressure on for the whole game. And you can see what they're capable of. You see the sort of touches and the shots that they can take. But this Feather team is restricting them so much. They're there, they're everywhere, they're making the saves. They're 5 saves on Kazir this game. He even outscored Sharky, who scored a hat-trick. That shows you how much of an impact he's had on defense this game. And again, 3 saves from Bot, so 8 saves. They've been outshot this match, but Primordial just can't convert. Feather are everywhere.
Yep, 13 shots and only scoring 3 is just testament to how good Feather is on defense, and they'll need to really change something up if they want to grab a game in this series, because Feather, they're just too good right now. See, because they're dropping 500 points, like you said, with 5 saves overall, which is just incredible. And I think, there's just going to be so much that Primordial have to do to even get a win in this series.
Absolutely. I think now it's about pride. It's about that last game, as we say so many times in RSC, the unique nature of it. The 4-game series means every game counts. This has been a good week, good few matches for Primordial. They need to take a game from this to really keep their momentum going. This is a tough match. A few weeks ago they would not have seen this match as something they might win. So, they need to look to take this game and keep that, scoreboard ticking over in the standings.
Yep, and I think they really need to take inspiration from the new signing Dan. He has been at the forefront of some of their more mechanical plays, so I think they'll need to, really carry that over into this game, try and get a couple goals, and see if it will manage to be enough to get the win. But it's another strong start from Feather. The pass across the middle, Dan is up first, and it's a good clear for Borsville to chase. Kazir does get the 50 win, and now he has time to chase it. He just can't quite find a hit on the ball, but Rikizla will be there to put it back towards middle, unable to do so. Primordial getting off a little bit lightly with a minute gone, but Feather, they still have pressure, and what they can do from this sort of position.
Yeah, you just look at that touch from Sharky there. So calm, so collected. That's a good demo from Bot to get the save nice and easily without a challenge. But that touch from Sharky just shows everything that Feather are about. It's about those little second touches, keeping control of the ball, keeping possession under your control. And that is very, very important at this challenger level. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You know, Primordial haven't really been able to keep that. There's been some nice touches, some nice passes, but they've not been able to find that pressure consistently, and Kazir's just up to deny the shot from Dan, and there's only Boar's back. Sharky with the air dribble, the demo's coming in but doesn't quite make it, and Kazir's there with the follow-up. But you see that pressure that they're able to build up. The little demo attempt on Boarsville makes the challenge awkward, makes him jump early. It's a good 50, but Kazir's there to finish, and that is an early lead for Feather team looking to take the sweep in this series.
Yeah, but that all came from that double commit on the goal line between Sauce and Dan. Left Boarsville in a 1v2, and one goes for the demo, one goes for the shot. It's a recipe made for success, and it succeeded yet again. And Feather have the lead in the final game of this series, something we have seen all too much, and it might be second here. Sharky putting towards the backboard. Dan demoed on the back post. Sauce gonna have to come across to cover it, and he does so. But the second touch goes straight to Rukizlaw. A little bit of cover having to be made, and Sharky had an open net there, but Boarsville manages to recover it, and it's still only a 1-goal game for now.
I think what this Feather team are doing, and there's an open net here for Dan. Surely he can't miss this, no he doesn't. But what this Feather team are doing really well is boost starving. You can see Boars there waiting for the big pad boost. Clearly had zero there to make an outplay from defense, and this Feather team are just absolutely constricting the Primordial team, but they then break away, no third man back, and that's the equaliser. That's exactly what the Doctor ordered for Primordial. Not looking likely to make many chances in the first sort of half of this game, but gifted a goal on some lax defence from Feather, and they're right back in this game 4.
But I still think they're up against it, how much pressure Feather can create, so they're really going to need to pull a rabbit out of the hat if they want to get a game out of this series, and that's not what they want. Sharky puts it middle, Sauce caught driving front post, and he's just gonna bump off his car, and now it's Feather back in the lead.
With the Feather player lurking behind, Sauce had to do something, but just not that. But it was a goal anyway if he didn't hit it. But yeah, just as they get back into the game, Feather turn it on and say, nah, we're back in the lead of this series. So yeah, Boarsville coming out the corner there, just can't get the outplay. Sources there, you can see 2 Feather players though challenging high up the ball, confident in their own mechanics and their own rotations to make those plays. Kazir challenges, Boarsville gets the touch, but it's a Feather player that he finds, and yeah, Kazir looking to make the play up the wall here, trying to find the infield pass into the middle, drops it down, Bot's there with the touch, doesn't quite get the goal, but Sharky's there to finish, and look at that pressure again from Feather. They're dominating. There's no answer from Primordial here. They don't know how to counter this 3-man 1-2-3 punch, and then it's a goal, and it extends to a 2-goal lead.
Yep, and it's just Feather being so calm and composed, even when there's someone right next to them challenging. They're so confident they can get the ball through and create a goal. And that's going to be a 4 straight off the kickoff. Sharky completing the hat-trick in game number 4, and you can't say it's anything but deserved. Just an unfortunate 50 there with Dan, who sort of redirects it backwards and gives Sharky a free setup. And now it's going to be like climbing Mount Everest for Primordial if they want to even salvage something out of this game. And it's going to be another kickoff in the favour of Feather. Boarsville managing to get the stop. Gets 50 past 2 of them. Dan is there in waiting, but he can only take to the corner. Tries to get to the middle. Sauce is there. Shot saved by Sharky on the pre-jump. And that is just testament to how good they've been. The team bump almost gets them caught out. And I think this series is, over. There's no other word for it.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think with a minute left, I can't see Primordial getting the 3 goals they need to take this to overtime. I think this Feather performance has been very, very efficient. They've, lived up to their billing at the top of the table. They will go top with 4 game wins this week, and they've already got them, potentially, unless there's an absolute miracle at the end here. And you can really see their good value for being top of the table. They are a high pressure team. They're very mechanically solid. they just look like a very difficult team to play your game against. You're always finding yourself trying to counter their style. Yet, you know, Primordial haven't been able to impose their own will on this series at any point, really. And I think that's testament to this feather roster and just how strong this is.
Yeah, but out of the last 6 series they've played now, they've only lost 4 entire games with this. Assuming it'll be a sweep, they have won 20-4 in the last 6 series they've played. And they're trying to make it 50 Rakizla, trying to put towards net, not going to be able to, and that is going to be game, set and match. Borzil can't even get one as a consolation. And GG, well played, Feather take the series win. And you couldn't say it was anything other than expected.
Yeah, I think with the stats definitely suggested that this Feather team was going to be very, very strong. But I think seeing it in person, until that point, you don't appreciate just how strong they are and how difficult they are to beat. You know, they've hardly lost. They've lost only 8 games this season so far, and they're absolutely deserving of it, as you said. And I think there's not much more to say. Primordial, we know they're better than that. I think their recent record suggests it. You know, we know these players are capable of better. I think it wasn't their day. They weren't able to figure this Feather team out. And I think if they were to play them again, well, they will do later this season, I would expect it to be closer. But I just think Feather turned up, played their game, didn't let the stream bother them, and, you know, ruthless efficiency from really start to finish, apart from double commits in game 1, really just ruthless. And they could rely on their mechanics. Just delivered on every level. So well played to them.
Yeah, but this certainly makes them the team to beat. You know, they've played so well over the past 3 weeks, and this just adds to it against a very good team coming into that series like Primordial. To take a sweep is really testament to how good they are. But that'll be all for this series. Join me and Tom Dillon in about 20 minutes for a Master Series between Illusion and Phoenix. We'll see you then.
Show your feathers, show all your color, hypnotize everyone inside. Open your eyes and tell me where you belong. Will you reach beyond? Fly away, you fly away, fly away, you fly away, throwing caution to the wind. Fly away, you fly away, fly away, you fly away, throwing caution to the wind. Set fire to our darkened sky. Maybe we will survive. Take us higher and tell us what it's like to feel alive. Fly away, you fly away, fly away, you fly away, throwing caution to the wind. Fly away, you fly away, fly away, you fly away, throwing caution.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to RSC EU. We're on a Friday night for the second series of the evening. We go up to the Master Tier for Illusion versus Phoenix. It might be two teams rather separated in the league, 9th and 1st, but plenty of positions can be gained today. Phoenix, the story of their nights is that they can go up to, I think it's 7 points clear with a sweep this evening, whereas Illusion can get themselves into the play-in spots this evening with a sweep. A tall task, though. Merits joins me alongside me for this series this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting series. Obviously, the Master, such fun tier to watch. Always, the gameplay is always very high level, very enjoyable series overall, regardless of the result.
Yeah, it will definitely be a very, very enthralling series. Of course, the last one, we saw a sweep. It was the previous game on the stream. Merits covered that one. And to be honest with you, I sort of hope there's a sweep today because I think it's so important for both of these teams that they do get a sweep. But if we take a look at the players, Merits, I believe on your screen right now, is the wins and losses. But if we move over to the players, both of these sides have got very, very strong rosters, and one of them choosing a sub tonight.
Yep, that would be Illusion choosing to use Eagle Crane over Roofy along with Emma and Matty. How that plays out, maybe they're just looking to use their sub against the stronger teams so they can focus their main roster on the teams that they maybe view as more beatable teams.
Potentially, and certainly the top players to look out for on these styles. Matiet, I think, for Illusion is going to be a very key player indeed. 28 goals, 16 assists, and 56 saves. That being said, I believe you have just said that he's not playing tonight, isn't he? So ignore me. Oh, no, he is playing. Never mind. There we go. First blunder of the evening. But then Bjarni on the other side, Phoenix. 35 goals, 24 assists, and 61 saves. I think it's all going to be about getting those shots off this evening. Matti only with a 42% shooting percentage, so perhaps you should get him into a good position. Eventually, he's going to put one into the net. Look at that shooting percentage, by the way. The best on his team by quite some margin. But, well, Merits, this is going to be a fascinating series. What's your prediction for this evening?
Alright, Phoenix over there in first place, a little bit of a David versus Goliath battle, but I just can't see anything else than a Phoenix win. But I'm not gonna go with a sweep. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win for Phoenix.
Well, I'm going to push the boat up and go a 4-0 sweep for Illusion. That's based on what I want to see, rather than what I think will happen. But let's tell the teams to join up. And, well, this should be a very exciting series indeed. First versus second from last is definitely not the closest of matchups on paper, but I think it's going to be a very fascinating game. So when all the teams do eventually get into the lobby, it's going to be Illusion in the blue, Phoenix in the red. In this game 1 of 4 should be very interesting indeed. To get kicked off and underway, it's actually going to be Illusion who win the kickoff. Emma chasing it down into the red corner, into the centre, looking for Eagle Crane. The substitute. His first shot is just a little bit wayward. First touch on the ball, not quite able to find it in. It's cleared away here by Usic. Emma back downfield with a bit of a shot, really. Bjarni able to get it cleared away. Usic once again playing it off to Bjarni, who's able to alleviate some of that pressure.
Yep, and with just 30 seconds gone, it has been a little bit back and forth, and it's now Phoenix turn to attack. It's going to be Bjarni getting a good beat there, Steb not quite getting the ball, and it's now going to be Matiet sending it to the ball, getting a good 50, forcing Steb to cut his rotation a little bit short to try and send the ball the other way. But it's going to be Phoenix taking early possession, but Emma trying to just force 50 after 50. And now Phoenix on the attack, steps and take the ball, gets it past Eagle Crane off to the side, trying to find Usic there. Early 50 from Emma. Clear trying to find Emma herself, gets the good hit, it's just a little bit wayward there.
Into the centre it goes, Emma chasing it down. Eagle Crane there is going to lose a 50-50 with Steb. Usic will take it down this left-hand side, leaves it for Bjarni in the end. Challenged by Matti, there is a demo on Emma in the centre, not able to really find any space from it. Into the centre it goes, shot comes in, Steb is going to get the first goal, and the league leaders are off to a flying start.
Yep, it was Usic, just a little bit more time than Illusion would have wanted to give him, managing to get the pass across middle for Steb to find the net. And now it's Phoenix with the first lead of the game, just under a minute and a half played, and Bjarni will win the kickoff for Phoenix. Usic beaten by Matiet there, Steb beaten out by Eagle Crane. Can Matti get the follow-up? Bjarni's there, but he can't get away, and just as quickly as the lead started, it ended.
Absolutely, as Matiet takes the shot, not quite able to get it past Bjarni. Bjarni, well, does get it past Bjarni, I should say. I apologise, we twitched out, but yes, there we go. Usic then going to go up for the kickoff against Matiet. Eagle Crane cheats rather well, takes it into the corner. Bjarni accidentally plays it into the centre. Emma can't quite capitalise on the shot. Good challenge there in the centre. Usic with the shot. Matiet getting it clear. Down the left-hand side, will give chase hit. Bjarni keeping it alive though. Into the centre he goes. Eagle Crane gets it clear once more, and up the other end. There's no one back. Usic has to chase. It's going to be tapped in by Usic, and the substitute gets his goal, and this game has been turned on its head. Eagle Crane able to get that final touch to send it in. Apparently, according to the game, of course, may just go down as a bit of a desperate own goal.
Yeah, and this is a start I don't think anyone expected. I think that the clear prediction was that Phoenix were going to establish themselves, take control of the game, and grab 1 or 2 early goals. But instead, it's Illusion who have the lead after 2 minutes, and they quite frankly deserve it. They've been counter-attacking perfectly, and now they are in the lead forward. See Illusion coming forward again, Steb is sent to the corner. Emma going to try and take her time, but will get demoed. And now Steb trying to take the ball away. Matty will send it just past Bjarni, who has no boost, but he managed to get that mid boost and sends it back towards Steb, his teammate. But Emma is there, sent towards the corner. And Illusion just playing their cards right and keeping the pressure on Phoenix.
Ebel chases one down. Bjarni goes into the centre. Stebby has to rotate back for boost. Eagle Crane will try and keep this away. Won't be able to do so though, and it's Matietu who has to get it clear eventually. Emma chases down, is able to get a demo on Bjarni as well. Maybe looking for the centre. No teammate there just yet. Matty goes to challenge. Steb challenges as well, very well. And actually goes back down the other end for Phoenix, who know that they are the favourites in this game. Takes the shot and Bjarni gets the goal as well. Phoenix able to get back on to level terms. It took them a minute and 9 seconds to do so, but Bjarni not going to miss that one. To be fair, from a little bit of a difficult angle, but Bjarni able to save his team for the time being.
Yep, Eagle Crane definitely fired that covered, but he just gets a little bit too high on the shot, and Bjarni, they're practically open net shooting to tie up the game, and that's a good bump on the back line. It's going to be open. Matty can't get back, and Phoenix turning it around incredibly quickly here.
They have turned it around a little bit like Illusion did, and are able to get back into the lead of this one. This is why they are leading this particular conference, because they're able to turn games on their head this quickly and take control of a series. Steb is going to cheat this one into the top corner. Goes off of the backboard now into the centre. Perhaps a chance for Bjarni, and it's 4-2. As quickly as it was 2-0, it's gone 4-2 straight away, and it's unbelievable here from Phoenix. Come back from 1-0 down, able to take the game really by the scruff of the neck.
Yep, and that's Bjarni completing his hat-trick with that backwards aerial goal, which was incredibly, very good team play there. Instead, they're trying to continue the attack. That's a good shot. What? Seeing there, Steb with the corner read to extend their lead to 3, and oh my goodness, that shot no one could have predicted Steb pulling out of his pocket.
Yeah, that's probably one of the goals of the week so far, I think. Wonderful, wonderful shot. This time the cheat's going to work very well, though. An Eagle Crane will slot it in to an open net, and there was a man rotating around to try and save it all, but not quite able to do so. Watch Steb in the top right-hand corner of the picture, just not able to get round quickly enough to it, and Eagle Crane gets his second goal. Top scorer so far for his team in terms of the points on the board, and not a bad haul as a substitute. Not quite able to win this one though just yet. Eagle Crane though goes again, maybe a shot, maybe a goal. Bjarni will get the save though. Eagle Crane having a very, very good game though.
Yep, and maybe with 90 seconds on the clock, they might have enough time to force an overtime potentially, especially when they're putting pressure on like they are doing right now, making Phoenix a little bit awkward, but nothing real coming out of that chance yet. Into the last 70 seconds of game number 1 is still a 2-goal lead for Phoenix after that incredible corner read from Steb, followed up by that kickoff goal. That one's put middle. Emma trying to get across to it, and now it's Matty alone in defense, 2 versus 1 pass infield. Usic trying to play it back. Bjarni back to Usic, and that one's just going in. Not quite sure where that Illusion defense was, but now it's a 3-goal game once more.
It is, and Phoenix just not letting the opposition take any liberties with this one, really just able to take a hold of the game every time this Illusion side get back into it. Going for the kickoff again, Bjarni. Emma will try and bring it away. Steb has one really nicely for him off of the post in the end. Matiet with the saviour medal. Into the centre it goes. Emma will try and attack down the right hand side, up the other end into the centre. Perhaps a chance over the top of Steb, who's just able to get a bumper on it. He'll take it down the left-hand side now into the centre. Eagle Crane will put it back into opposition half. Usyk brings it away. Down the left-hand side he goes now. Not got a great deal of boots to work with, and in the end has to pull out of it, really. Chasing down into the top right-hand corner. Eagle Crane with the shot. Usyk is there to get the clear away. It won't really have gone on target anyway. Bjarni bringing it away, I apologise. Into the centre it goes for the Steb. Steb takes the shot, and it's a goal. 7-3 to this Phoenix side, who really are just playing a 5-star performance.
Yep, this is what you come to expect from first place in Master though. 4-goal game. It looks like Illusion had a little bit of hope taking the lead early on, but since then it's been all Phoenix. That full Icelandic roster really having, you know, come to play around with their opponents, just totally dominating them, and game 1 will rightfully go to them in maybe 8-3 here, but Bjarni will just kill the ball, and now Phoenix take first blood.
Absolutely, and it's going to be Bjarni who gets the MVP award, 613 points. I don't know where Bjorn came from, but anyway, we move. We'll ignore that one. You can see the player stats on your screen. 5-star performers. I think 2 players, well, only a touch apart actually, with 613 and 611. I think, well, they're off to a flying start. They know that with this win, they're going to give themselves so much breathing room at the top of the table, and that's exactly what they are going to do at the moment.
Yep, now with that win, I believe puts them 4 wins clear at the top of the table, and with every opportunity to add to that. But Illusion, they didn't look too bad. It just, Phoenix were just a level above, you have to say.
And hello Rapids in the chat, 7-3 to Phoenix. Yes, you're not reading that incorrectly. That's the first game score. They were chasing it for a while and then just able to get themselves back into this one. Going into Forbidden Temple though, they'll be looking to build on this momentum that they've managed to get in that first game and hopefully continue the utter domination. I think there's still more from this Illusion side. They haven't won in their last 5. I think here they're going to, well, they're going to have to step it up, but I'm not too sure they can.
Yeah, but you know, we'll have to wait and see on Forbidden Temple now. Game 2 underway. Kickoff going in the favour of Phoenix. Going to be Usic trying to go alone. Goes fast, go under Matty, but the clear is made. And now Bjarni trying to slow things down. Good 50 of Matty, yeah, but Eagle Crane is there trying to send it middle. Step with an easy enough clear, but it's not very powerful. And Emma has an open net to shoot for. And Illusion take the lead in game number 2 early on.
Phoenix having to step it up then. 24 seconds of the play. Emma able to get the first goal of the game. A total contrast to what we saw in the first one so far. Plenty of time for Phoenix there, and they're going to need to get a good kickoff to start it off. Eagle Crane's going to win the kickoff. Actually, Usyk will eventually bring it away, get the beating of him over Mattiet as well. Step takes the shot, and Step, almost is going to get the goal. Bjarni follows it up. There's nothing he can do. Into the centre it goes. Bjarni keeping it alive, trying to swizz around one person. Emma brings it away in the end. Step has to stop the attack down the other end, but that was an incredible attack for a moment from Phoenix, all being created by that one man just trying to do it all. Eagle Crane is back. This one will be chased down by Bjarni. Step has an open net to aim at, and Eagle Crane with a double save up for Usyk. Usyk takes the shot and it's cleared away once more. Bjarni into the centre. Eagle Crane able to get it clear eventually once more. That is some superb defending early on.
Yep, and as a sub, he is having the series of his life so far. You know, dropping that MVP, go top of the leaderboard performance in game number 1, and making a vital stop there to keep the score 1-0. Mattiet getting that vital clear after Usic's shot goes straight into him. Steb up first for that one. Demo trying to be made in the back line, but Mattiet will take it away. Gets it past Usic. Now might just go in. Steb is there on the goal line to keep it just a 1-goal game, and Crane trying to send it towards net, but with 0 boost, it gets being out. And Phoenix is trying to take it away, but the pressure remains from Illusion.
It does as Steb looks to bring it forward. Eagle Crane will get the tap off of the corner. This blue corner into the centre it goes. Maybe a chance for someone. Mattietto bring it away eventually. Bjarni chasing it down to try and get his lines clear. Gets his lines clear eventually, but Emma stops the momentum inside of midfield. Bjarni takes it back downfield into Mattietto. Gets it clear eventually. Eagle Crane has a lot of work to do. Can't really do much with it. Step off of the back board. Looks for a double touch. Won't be able to find it. And Emma brings it away. Gets it clear. Usic chases down. Going to try and get this attack started once more. 2 minutes and 48 seconds to try and find a goal. The chance definitely with Phoenix here. Illusion won't be too discouraged. Still leading this game, of course. Step now into the centre he goes. Usyk takes the shot. Step trying to get it clear. Won't be able, not clear, trying to get it into the centre. Won't be able to do so. Still unable to find this goal. Bjarni now forced to work all alone with a teammate being demoed further back. Usyk still going. Tries to send it back downfield. Does do so, but Mattiet able to get it cleared away. Usyk centre once more. Eagle Crane gets it clear. This time they're not able to find a way through this absolute rock of a defence.
Yep, Illusion looking a lot more solid and composed on defense, and they're managing to find their way through to, you know, create short mini attacks that, you know, burst the momentum of Phoenix. You see Mattiette putting that one towards backboard. Usyk, not the best clearance, and Emma trying to go by herself. Bjarni with the whiff. Usyk bailing Phoenix out, but Mattiette is a free clear on backboard, and it's going to be a double commit there from Phoenix. Put middle by Mattiette, but no one is there except Usyk. It just buys, you know, Illusion a little bit more time. But the 50's coming thick and fast as Phoenix really is trying to start chasing this equalizer, and Bjarni could bring it. Mattiette getting the clear. Usyk is there to follow up. Eagle Crane will get it away, but pressure remains from Phoenix. Eagle Crane sends it towards the corner. Bjarni puts it to the middle. Usyk up first. Emma gets the stop, and Mattiette, frozen on the goal line, manages to get the clear and trying to hold on with just over a minute left in game number 2.
Looks like they might just hold on here. Not really finding a way through just yet. Phoenix, Bjarni going forward though. Maybe a commentator's curse. Eagle Crane gets it clear away. Emma now a chance to put the game to bed. Usyk with the save, with the clearance at least. Won't go down as a save officially. Steb going to try and get this clear. He does start an attack actually. Bjarni can chase down the right hand side. Steb in the end is going to be the one who does so. Into the centre, gets a demo on Mattiette, but there was a second man there, and Eagle Crane to get it clear. 45 seconds now. It's being nervy for Phoenix, who are just slightly avoiding the sweep at the moment. They need that one goal to try and take this into overtime. It's a game that you sense if it does go into overtime will be over quite quickly. It's just one of those games. Bjarni looks to take it forward. Emma is there to try and receive. Does receive. Good first touch. Bjarni into the centre though. Usyk chases down. Mattiette into the centre once more. Bjarni can't do anything with it with 20 seconds. Still trying to find the net. Phoenix not able to do anything just yet. Into the centre it goes. Mattiette looks to put the game to bed. Shot comes in. It's off of the backboard, and Eagle Crane will chase down. He can't save. Nothing they can do. Maybe a buzzer beater. Usyk's out of boost and out of luck as well. Usyk on the second opportunity won't find anything. Buzzer goes. Illusion win.
Yeah, but it's a lot more tight-knit game there from Illusion. They really managed to hang on and, you know, like, feel their way through all of that pressure from Phoenix, who somehow only managed to put 4 shots on net for the entirety of that game. It certainly felt like a lot more, but it was Illusion who managed to hang on and take the victory in game number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And Illusion were able to step it up. It's 1-1. So the people currently leading the lead aren't actually leading the league aren't actually going to extend that by 4 games as we may have expected this early on in this series. A definite contrast to the first game. I mean, your defense is pretty good, isn't it, Merits? If you're going to score within the first 15 seconds and then go on to win the game by a single goal, it definitely was a top tier performance from Illusion. This could maybe be their first series win in 5 games, as I mentioned, but fortunately, playoff spots not quite there for them after today, but they'll be feeling encouraged if they can step this up.
Yeah, but you've got to remember they are playing against Phoenix, so I'm not entirely convinced about the performance. It was very, very close for them to, you know, go to overtime or potentially lose that game. That very easily could have happened. So they maybe need to step up just that little bit more to convince me that they can actually get the series win over Phoenix. They're currently first place, and first place by a very large amount. 4 wins as it stands. See game 3 underway in Sovereign Heights. Bjarni's trying to go alone. Gets the clear from Illusion, and then Dev will double tap there. Eagle Crane, good 50. Out to Matty, beaten by Usyk. Emma's there trying to take the shot. Bjarni gets the 50, and first 30 seconds is all Illusion.
All Illusion again, they really have stepped it up. I think they found that other gear that they were lacking in that first game. Maybe a bit of complacency setting in for Phoenix as well. Definitely can't afford complacency in this game. 3 shot comes in. Emma not quite able to get the touch off of the backboard in the end, and Steb will try and clear his lines. Eagle Crane challenges well actually, and can't quite find the follow-up. Is cleared away, and a rather lucky pinch downfield. Emma central it goes. Mattiette able to bring it away. Bjarni goes up for it, clears it away. Emma again just inside of midfield, able to stop the attack in its tracks and into the centre, tries to create something. Steb was able to get the clearance. Now Usyk chases it down. Can he find something? Midfield battle early on in this game 3. Eagle Crane off of the backboard, able to get it clear away once more. Into the centre it goes. Emma clears again. Usyk will put it back downfield off of centre field. Bjarni waits on it, puts it into the centre, into Steb. Steb can't quite find the goal. It's saved by Mattiette. No goals in a about 7 minutes of Rocket League now, and it's starting to get a little bit concerning from this Phoenix perspective.
Yep. A lot of spells of pressure, and Bjarni will end that 7-minute streak just as you mentioned it. It'll go very similar to Stebbs in game 1, little corner read this time, a lot closer to the goal, and it gives them the lead. Beautiful stuff from Bjarni there. Obviously the highest scorer for Phoenix this season, and he's given them the lead in game 3, which is exactly what they needed. But the kickoff will go in the way of Illusion, but Usic out, getting the clear away, trying to follow up closer to the goal line. Eagle Crane will get away, finding Emma. Emma up all by herself. Can you get shaking touch? No, she can't. And now it's going to be away from Phoenix, and the attack can begin, but no one's quite there to follow that touch into the centre. It's going to be Emma getting the 50 out and up. Mattiette up first. Stebb's going to tap it down and air dribble the ball away. Just trying to relieve some of the pressure from Phoenix, and he's done exactly that for now.
Emma going back forward, Steph able to get it clear, but sets it up quite nicely actually for Emma to have a shot, and the miscommunication slightly as Mattiette look for it as well. Usyk now going forward, flips it over one. Eagle Crane with the save once more. He is not letting anything in this evening. Whenever he's there on the goal line, he knows that he's not going to let that one in. Mattiette now with the save. Emma going to have to go up for it, gets the double save away. Phoenix really struggling to find a way through. Bjarni though, he's not struggling. 2 goals in as many minutes, 330 points for him, and he really has been a little bit of inspiration that his team needs to break this wall of defence.
Yeah, but you could certainly tell it was coming. They just had pressure for about the last minute and a half or so, and it just kept building and building, and Illusion were bound to crack eventually. 2 goals going in short succession. Here's Bjarni again, flip reset, trying to find Usic in the middle. Mattiette gets a good 50, finding Eagle Crane. He's been getting called Goat Crane in the chat for all the series for his heroic defensive work, and honestly it's been deserved, even though he can't quite do enough to see his team ahead in this game. Emma trying to put that shot towards net, but it's just a little bit wide now. Orsic trying to take it away. Mattiette, good pinch, forcing Phoenix onto the back foot a little bit, and now it's all Illusion for that little stint of time. Steb getting demoed by Eagle Crane, going to slow down their attack even just the slightest bit, and with a minute and a half remaining, Illusion needs to act now.
Bjarni looks for his hat-trick in this game 3, not able to find it. The redirect not quite coming to him. Step though out of centre field, will try and put it into the centre for Bjarni to take a shot. He's still going here over the top of Emma. Emma just able to get the 50 in, then able to get it clear as well, but not clear enough. They need to go down the other end and score now, Illusion, to get into this game 3. Out of the corner it goes. Emma takes a shot into the centre once more, and Bjarni clears it away. A bit of packet loss on my screen, so I apologise if anything's going wrong with my microphone or anything.
Yep, and now into the last 45 seconds, Phoenix come forward again. Eagle Crane getting the clue. Steb will be the only one up for that. Emma no boost, trying to send it middle, but Usic up first. It's going to be all him. Eagle Crane on the backboard, can't quite get there. Goes a little bit past Bjarni instead, just going to take it over to the left hand side, trying to kill some seconds of the clock. It's Mattiette, send it towards middle, double commit. Emma, good shot! Perfect placement, and nothing that Phoenix defense could do, and now we have a game on our hands potentially.
Potentially, can they find something in the next 25 seconds? This Illusion side is not going to be something that comes easily to them. They haven't been prolific in attack this evening. Phoenix are able to win the kickoff almost and just bring it away and run some clock for the time being. Emma looks to go forward, over 2 she goes. Steb is able to wait in it and get it back into the centre. It goes. He's just able to get a lucky touch off of Mattiette away. Into the centre it goes. Mattiette looking for a redirect. 4 seconds to go into the centre. One last roll of the dice. Maybe Emma can't get round to it, and Phoenix are going to win the game, and this series is going to be decided in a game 4.
Yep, and it was definitely a lot closer, just like game 2. Only a 1-goal game could separate it. And Illusion, they just, you know, at the start they looked good, and at the end looked good. In the middle they just couldn't find that consistency, and it was all Phoenix for that time. And they managed to do enough in that time to take game 3 to give themselves, guaranteed not a loss, which is very good. And now they are ahead by 5 in the overall standings, which is also very good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, Illusion can still get themselves up the table ever so slightly. They can, of course, get their first win in 5 with a... well, they can't actually now, can they? They can get yet another draw, actually. This would be their third draw in 5 after drawing their first game of the last 5, the second, the third, and the 5th. They would jump up the table with these two. In fact, they'll go up to 8th as if they're able to get this second game scored, and maybe a chance to build some momentum heading into the latter parts of this season.
Yep, I was watching Illusion. I was casting Illusion series against Severance last week, and they looked a lot better towards the end of the series. Maybe that'll be, another theme here, so they'll be able to secure the draw. They've been securing a lot of draws, so maybe my theory has a little bit of basis towards it. But game 4 underway in Beckwith Park, and it's early pressure from Phoenix, and just to get pinched away by Usic. But Barisa trying to get towards the middle, just the scoop isn't strong enough. Instead, going to try and dive in, but not quite the hit he was wanted. But Bjarni's there to follow it up, but no real hits towards the middle from Phoenix in that early start there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just needing to find the net, though. Something that has been lacking in this series so far. But in game 1, of course, Bjarni's up for this one in the centre, cleared away. Of course, Usyk will try and chase it down and put it back into contention with a booming drive downfield. Eagle Crane able to get the clear, not really clearing it out of his net, though. Bjarni into the centre he goes, looks for it all alone. Mattiet able to get it clear. I did say he was the player to watch in this Illusion side. Definitely holding his weight in this series. My player of the series, though, has to be Eagle Crane so far. Bjarni looking for this one. Into the centre it goes. Usyk not really able to do anything with it. Step going forward now. They know that a win in this series is so important to them. Phoenix, Emma that goes forward, not able to really find anything though, and Bjarni brings his way, runs out to boost though. It's the end of that action for him.
Just under a minute and a half gone, still no goals. It appears after that game 1 10-goal thriller, the goals have sort of dried up and it's become, a lot more cagey in terms of the gameplay on show. A lot more 50-50s back and forth instead of sustained pressure that we're so used to in game number 1. But we see Illusion trying to come forward here. Emma play disruption, but maybe they went a little bit too far up. Bjarni can't get the shot, and it's going to be Eagle Crane taking it away for now. Mattiet trying to follow up. Find Emma in the middle, send it towards the right hand wall. Bjarni's, can he get it on target? Yes, he can. And now it's Phoenix with the first goal of game 4.
Maybe 1 goal will be enough, given how this series has gone. I don't really see anything from Illusion at the moment. 1 shot in the game so far, and it was Emma. Not really much going on for them so far. Need to find something to get this series drawn. Bjarni looks to almost put it to bed with all about half the game to go. Not able to find anything just yet though. Into Usyk it goes. Usyk will try and challenge for this one. Emma wins the 50-50 in centre field. Matty will go for his own 50-50. Steb gets it clear eventually. Not convincingly though. Eventually a booming drive downfield. We'll find Bjarni who takes the shot. Emma with a very strong save away. Odds were definitely on her getting to that ball. I think there was just that slight chance with a miscue. Bjarni now looks to go for almost a pinch off of the floor there. Try and challenge this one with Matty yet to keep the attack alive. Does keep the attack alive with Deb helping it out. Emma back downfield though, avoiding the overcommit. Bjarni gets the save out of his own lines. Eagle Crane gets demoed as well. Maybe a chance if Bjarni can create something. Trying to pierce the midfield. Not able to do anything. Steb gets to this one. Only just. That was a lot more concerning for him than I think he anticipated early on. Steb rotates back for abuse. Bjarni chases this one down. Out of the corner he goes. Mattiet able to get it clear away. Steb gets demoed, forcing Usyk to not overcommit. Phoenix able to really take control of this game. Illusion just still in there.
Just under 2 minutes left to try and secure the draw or something, maybe even overtime, but it's Phoenix's defense have just been the strongest so far. That one close towards net, double tap not there from Steb, but now counter-attacking again. But Emma getting demoed by Usic, halt their attack a little bit, but it's going to be Eagle Crane, very little boost in tank, send it towards the backboard. Usic is there trying to get past Emma, 50 goes towards the middle. Mattiette is up on the consensus side where Eagle Crane will be waiting. Just trying to tip it towards the middle. But it's just giving possession to Phoenix, and that's not what they want. They need to get forward and quickly because Phoenix defense is so good, so they want to give themselves as much time as possible to crack that defense.
A defense that's proved a tough nut to crack so far. Usyk looks to attack down the right-hand side. A second goal now might just put this game to bed. Not quite. Emma's going to chase it down to try and force an overtime. Bjarni able to bring it away only as far as Eagle Crane inside of roughly the centre. Looks to go central himself for a teammate. Not able to find it. Bjarni gives a little bit of width. Looks to go central now. Emma will get it cleared away down into the red corner. Step tries to take it away. Can't really find a teammate. Emma now into the centre. Mattiette not really able to do anything with that one. Emma will clear her lines with 20 seconds to go. The odds definitely now against Illusion, looking to save the series, save a draw. Usyk takes the shot, runs a little bit of clock into the corner. Eagle Crane brings it away. Now no real chance for Illusion just yet to find anything in this game. They've got 10 seconds to try and do something quickly. Ticking away from them though, Usyk with a strong clear into the centre. It looks like the league leaders are going to wrap up the series and further extend their lead at the top of this Ignis conference, and that they do. Winner is Phoenix in this second series of the Friday night, and it was an unconvincing performance, but a very good one, I think, Maris.
Yep, both teams were definitely more matched than I would have thought on paper coming into this series. Close games, except that game one, bit of an exception, bit of an anomaly even. You know, there's total domination from Phoenix, but Illusion sort of started to settle in, but they just couldn't quite find the goals when it mattered, and it's why Phoenix went to win the series. And I'm just going to say this now, I got the prediction bang on. I went 3-1 Phoenix, and it came true.
Yeah, well done on that. I think first caster to get a prediction correct on our streams so far. But yeah, well done. A very, very close series, actually, in the end. 3-1 to Phoenix, though, I think is a fair result. And, well, unfortunately, we're not going to get any interviews for you because no one's available. I think, obviously rushing off to watch the Aston Villa masterclass that's currently going on. So, Meritz, I'll ask you for your final thoughts.
Very good two series that I've been able to cast today. You know, a sweep from Feather in the Challenger tier, and that very tight series there between Illusion and Phoenix. But next up, it will be going down a tier to Elite, and Burmanitan and Psycho will take you through Fearless Bravo against Resonant in around 25 minutes time.
We'll see you then. Good night, everyone.
House music. Check the sound of the underground. Can you feel
Hashtag house. Hashtag house.
Can't spend another day like this. Sick of saving face, lying, going on by default, so I don't feel it all. Standing at a glass wall, looking in, and voices keep screaming, and without even thinking, I'm listening, listening, listening. Saying we've got you defeated. We've got you defeated. I've got news, my heart is still beating. It's not through till I'm bleeding. I'm okay like this, but keep wasting away lying. Senses fight to exist, I deny they persist. Running out of places to hide in, and voices keep screaming without even thinking. Listening, listening, listening. Saying we've got you defeated. We've got you defeated. I've got news, my heart is still beating. It's not through till I'm bleeding.
Come on, come on, come on. 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 Come on, come on, come
I'm the storm that meets the moon. I'm the sun that will not move. Do you think you are? Who do you think you
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RSC11, another match today in this league play stream. We just witnessed Phoenix take down their series in a 3-1 fashion against Illusion, and next up we are going into the Elite tier with a match between Fearless Bravo and Resonant on its way. And joining me in the booth for this one is Psycho.
Hello, hope you're all doing well. It's good to be back again after I was here late last night as well, but it is also nice to be back here in the Elite tier as well, and also to see some recognisable faces for me at least. Definitely in Fearless Bravo, who I had quite a fair bit of coverage of yesterday, last season. I think yesterday would be a bit too soon, but
That would be
names like
impressive.
Jack and half that'd be almightily impressive. And also Buddha on the bench, who that's rather unfortunate. I was casting with him yesterday, and I was hoping I could be his biggest fan today.
Not to be, though. He is indeed taking a little break, allowing his teammates to get in. And him and Harv were equal on games, but yeah, Harv's going to step up to the not quite sub spot. We can look at the table here, as Mireille's already kindly put on for us, and we can see that they're both in the top half, but we were looking at their form earlier, and Fearless Bravo has the worst form of the top 5, and Resonant are on a 3-draw streak, so both of them are looking to get back to winning ways here.
Absolutely so, and for Resonant, it's sort of been a consistent path they followed so far. Like you said, 3 draws on the trot and also 2 wins before that as well. Fearless Bravo have looked a lot more shaky, though, at least in recent times, but they still lie second in that table, which is the all-important thing you need to be worrying about. Where are you at the end of league play before that playoff situation hits?
Yeah, and another thing to consider is that they are still in second, but they have had one series more than Resonant. So Resonant have the better win percent because they're only 1 win behind. And other than that, the stats pretty much go, the main goal stats go against Fearless Bravo anyway, with more goals go for Fearless Bravo, sorry, with more goals for, slightly more goals against, but the offense is definitely looking slightly stronger from Fearless Bravo. Though again, anything that goes Fearless Bravo's way, maybe to consider that extra series played.
Yeah, and I think just looking at it from the statistical front, the most important things you're going to see is which of the players really constitute the main roster, if you like, which of the players have been on the court for the more amount of time. But nevertheless, we're hoping this one's going to be a closely fought battle between these two teams. They are relatively close in the standings. I'm going to certainly have my own personal biases, given the amount I was watching Fearless Bravo last season. I believe there's been one change to their roster since I saw them last season in Talk, which I do believe is a recent addition.
Yeah, they all of Harv, Jack, and Buddha, obviously Buddha, have definitely played on Fearless for a while, or at least in multiple occasions. But yeah, Torque, that new player, I would assume RSC rookie this season. I have not that up, but I haven't recognized the name before. Whereas in Resonant, it's a much fresher roster. Serenity, the GM, of course, but RMD and Frank, I'm pretty sure Frank is at least a rookie. RMD might have been around before, but the one stat that kind of was the most impressive to me, well, now that I look at it, there's 2. RMD has 54 demos, Jack has 60 demos, so both teams seem to have that resident man up front getting all the explosions for the offense.
Yeah, I think you put my point to bed about the only important stat being who's played more, when you consider the fact that someone's had 60 demos. That's quite a fair amount, so hopefully we can see a bit of that disruptive play come to light, and also as sort of these developing players in this elite tier, of course, different teams are going to come in with wildly different play styles, so different teams are going to have to very much acclimatise to one another in a short period of time. Best of 4, not best of 4, first 4 matches in the set is the RSC proceedings, as we all know and love, so not much time for the teams to get to know one another.
Yeah, there's You've got to make the most of each game while you get it. And I was about to tell the teams to join, but we have a late toilet goer for the moment, so it appears we will have to wait a little bit for them to get back. I'm sure not too long. And another stat that I saw, somewhat surprisingly, the two demo players are the two players with the most MVPs. Jack with 13 and R&D with 9. You know, normally the demo player isn't getting all the points, considering demos aren't giving you any points unless you get 7 in a match, which is pretty rare. So for both of them to have got the MVPs, showing that they're definitely not only having one facet to their play, they're definitely getting points from elsewhere and making sure that they're providing for their teams at multiple levels.
Absolutely, and even if you are sort of encountering that demo-heavy play style, that's sort of you're usually opting for that when it's safest to do so, at least for most players out there. As soon as you're done with your attack, for example, you go and wipe some players off the field on your way back. And of course, that is going to be a play style that I'm hoping to see from both sides, as that is what the demos in the statistical department have implied. But I think it's always going to be a mystery, matches like these, especially with some newer players coming to our screens, and especially this roster in Resonance. This is not a roster that I have seen before. I have very little knowledge of how they approach their play, for example. But on the other side, with the likes of Fearless Bravo, I'm sure there are those sort of headline figures, those names which everyone will come to recognize, such as JW Cinema, who is such an offensive powerhouse. He's got some fantastic mechanical ability to his name, and I remember throughout the entire of last season, that was the name that I was shouting the most.
Yeah, I don't know if I've shouted his name the most, but I've definitely shouted his name before. He scored a couple of crazy goals while I've been casting, so he's gonna be one to watch out for. And you know, Resonant, I've played with Serenity in the RSC LAN, and he definitely scored some goals to get us to that final. So you know, I've got the personal experience from him. They're definitely not gonna be left in the dirt in terms of mechanical ability, but it does seem that we have all teams ready. And Psycho, unless you've anything left to say, I think we should get this one up and running.
I think we should do absolutely that, Barbana-san. So we're going to let the players know they can hit the court as soon as possible and get underway between these two teams. We're hoping it's going to be a bloodbath. We're hoping to give you a thriller of a series to round off this wonderful evening so far. And 4 games are going to separate both these two teams.
And here we go, 5 minutes on the clock. Game 1 has kicked off with both teams looking to get their first win in a little bit. It's not been ages since they have, but definitely been longer than either would have wanted. And it's going to be a battle right from the start here as Fearless Bravo start off with the early pressure. It's going to go center, but Harv will retreat and leave back to Resonant to defend.
And at the moment, Resonant just trying to escape their own back lines at the moment, as Fearless Bravo seem to have a lot of that possession off of the kickoff. They've established some early control in terms of their offensive rotations as Serenity's going to come forwards now. It's going to be an unconventional little shot from Frank, but unfortunately can't poke that one in the net.
Serenity controls back to his corner. Made a little bit awkward, but does enough with the clearance to prevent any dangerous shot coming in. Torque now intercepts. Frank gets the bump onto Harv, and Serenity's quicker to the follow-up. Can't really push it very well. R&D's going to take it, just gives it away to Jack or JW, and that's just going to ping in. What a I don't know if I say fantastic, but definitely interesting opener for Fearless Bravo.
Well, if you're not going to say it, I'm going to say it. That was pretty fantastic.
That definitely was fantastic. Okay, I take it back.
Yeah, that's... I mean, if I'm going to rate that goal out of 10, I think you have to give it at least a 9, because how do you really improve that unless you put it up a few inches in the top left?
Yeah, okay, very impressive Serenity, looking to get them straight back into it with the top corner. It wasn't quite the pinch that the Fearless Bravo players had gone for, but was still close, but definitely going to leave a mark in that Resonant defense, just how much power that went in with. As you say, it wasn't quite top corner, but nonetheless, very impressive opening, but they've yet to get another shot on. Been a relatively tame opening other than that, just one shot each for each team. And here's another one for Harv, can only hit it to the post. Serenity will try and clear it out. R&D's going to take a swipe, but nothing on target. Jack will push it back down, and Fearless Bravo going to just look to keep it the way it is, controlling, and not too many chances on the board while they have the lead.
Absolutely so, and for Resonant, they've only really had one chance, and that was spawned off of a bump on Frank, which almost put a shot near the target for Resonant. Other than that, they've not really had many excuses to show their worth downfield so far. Such is the control of Fearless Bravo. As downfield, Harv is going to work his way forward, supported by Torque quickly there. As Francola Gotini, Frank as we also know him as, bit of a spicy name he's adding to the court today.
Yeah, we were considering how wonderful the name Frank the Goat 123 was before, but to make it, I don't know, Spanishized, Italianized, one of those two, just to make it all the more exciting for Resonant, and so far hasn't provided the extra spice that they need, but maybe it will later down the line. Here's a chance for Serenity, and it will go all the way in. I think that was a bump as well from Frank to make sure that the shot did find its way through, and Felix Bravo have been pegged back.
Yeah, it's a ripper of a shot from Serenity. And I think it's a bit easy to be critical. I did see two Fearless Bravo players sort of sniffing that right-hand corner, just pushing forwards eagerly a little too quickly there. The space was given for that shot, but it was not an easy one to make, and Serenity made it look that way.
Pushing again, can't get past Harv. This time Serenity maybe looking to be that danger player with both of Resonant's shots so far, and of course their sole goal. He's in his own corner at the moment, gives it away to Torque, who will find the 50 onto RMD, but it flies over the goal line and onto the left hand side for Harv to try and work something, but Frank will intercept. It's beat by Jack in the back line. RMD's going to push it again. Harv will take claim to this one. Misses the double, means Serenity can get in with a touch, but pass isn't reached by anyone. Torque wins that 50. Fearless looking to attack again, but not enough players behind the ball. Resonant will clear it back to the blue half, and once again we seem to have found our way into a lull, although Frank's found a fake. Can't make anything happen from it though.
Yeah, and like you say, we sort of settled in the sort of midfield battle that we're just letting ensue on the field right now. As Resonant will try and reset their luck from their own back corner. That touch is a little bit wayward into the centre, but Frank is there to mop up the missing pieces as Torque sets to the skies. Also backed up by Harv. That shot's going to be way off its mark though, and straight possession back towards the direction of Resonant.
Maybe a good attempt to go for the bump, but not after the shot was so clearly wide. The bump wasn't really going to offer anything, and allowed Resonant time to push it back into the blue half. They also failed to do anything with their attack as Jack reclaims the possession and attack for the blue, but Harv completely misses this one. Means Frank can push it. RMD and Serenity have double committed. It might not matter, it's off of the crossbar. Torque got no touch, RMD keeps it alive, but it's straight up for JW to clear off the backboard. Frank back central, he's going to find Serenity, but Jack with a good block. RMD to the backboard once again. Resonant trying to hammer down this wall. A nice step up to the leading shooter to this game 1, 7-5, but still no way through, still no lead for them so far. The series, that one does not drop down for RMD. It's going to go for Frank instead, but Torque gets the touch. Jack to clear again, and Resonant are going to end regulation time on top, but it doesn't look like they're going to find the goal as a reward.
Maybe not so, and we have reached overtime here in game 1. Certainly nice to see both of these two teams really acting so settled so early on in the series. This is usually where we see sort of those nerves come out and the little misses here and there. So far, very few mistakes have been made by both teams, as one of them is looking to take that all-important early advantage. As Frank does nab that little mid-boost, but it's not going to do much as Torque is going to shoot on target. Serenity to cut across, though.
Fearless Bravo really set up from the start of the kickoff, but with that chance, they give it away to Serenity, who goes for goal himself. Cannot beat the Fearless Bravo defense, so Torque's going to launch one. Again, it hits the backboard, though. We've had a lot of shots onto the crossbar in the last minute or so, including regulation and OT, but nothing finding its way through. Torque to push again. Serenity to clear. It's a little bit out of position here from Resonant. Might allow Torque away, and he finds the crazy angle. Doesn't hit it in first try, but just enough for JW to come in and clean up the pieces, completing their 1-2.
And it's such a smart delivery over to Torque, and the infield pass was just as sweet, whether or not he was actually looking for that target or not, or the pass back in field. Both were easily going to do the job there for Fearless Bravo, and that's just an extra level of creativity compared to what we've seen throughout pretty much this entire game. Yeah,
and you said it for the first goal, you don't want to criticize too much, but Fearless Bravo were a little bit out of position, and that seems like it's going to be the sort of match it is. Resonant were just that little bit out of position. They still had a player back in defense, but it wasn't enough. They committed too hard, and Fearless Bravo found that little gap that they needed to take this game number 1. So when it's a game of few mistakes, those tiny mistakes you make are going to matter all the more.
Absolutely so, and just in terms of the individual performances, I'm not sure there was any standouts for that game one either. Both of them were very well worked team efforts. I thought, of course, Talk supplying that early goal, the direction of Fearless Bravo, which just rocks its way home, and Serenity also with a wall shot with quite some vigour on it as well. But ultimately, it's these tiny little margins which make this game so spontaneous in the first place, and I think as this series develops, it's only going to get tighter from here.
Yeah, a lot of, I was going to say solid defense, but Resident only got 2 saves onto Bravo's 9 shots, so there's maybe some more consistency, of the few mistakes that were made, some slightly more consistency we're looking for on the offense to make sure that the crossbar isn't always being hit, because there were quite a few occasions there where players could have done better, but that's not to take credit away from Resident. That's probably them putting a lot of effort in on the defense and forcing those shots to be so tight where Bravo have to go for those tight margins into the corners, or it's just not going to go in because there's Resident players ready. So there's 2 ways to read into that lack of offensive consistency from Bravo in Game 1.
Yeah, and you know what? I still think there's plenty more to come from the teams themselves as well. That was by no means a perfect performance from the both of them. And still very much early doors, as we are trying to get the players ready, up and raring to go for game number 2. We'll see them take to the turf very shortly, but it is approaching sort of that point in the season, I think, Barmanatan, at which there is a reason to really take these series seriously, because there isn't too many more weeks left of this league play setting. Of course, 8 teams within each of these conferences, and then it's going to be compiled towards the end of that into that playoff scenario. So these sort of matches could be crucial to the end league standings, really.
Yeah, and it's almost always the case in RC, but especially when you have a close conference like this where there's only 3 wins separating that top 5, and only the top 3 get into that upper bracket. The first place, of course, getting an even extra bye, so everything is crucial. Every game win is important, and Bravo with that game 1 win has stepped 1 step closer to going top of the table, just 1 win behind the Profits. So they're definitely going to look to continue on that game 1 form, and we are going to get all 6 players in just before the timer hits 0. Psycho, we have game 2 with just about no issues.
Absolutely so. We are underway with game 2, and we're really looking forward to seeing how the tale will change in this game, as JW Cinema's just going to park at the front post. He's asking for a quick server reset, and I do think that's only fair given the situation. We've literally just started the game, and why not make it a competitive experience for everyone?
Yeah, it definitely is in the rules that you're allowed a server reset if you're not happy with however the ping is going. So they have called it, and we are going to reset, as we do eventually have an issue in game 2. I was indeed incorrect.
You cursed it. You cursed it so well. I was like, what's going to be the next thing which is problematic? And you just called it out right in front of everyone. It was a perfect delivery, really. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's rare you get such a perfect caster curse. It didn't even take them 20 seconds to make sure that I was down and out of that prediction, and what I didn't even think it was a prediction.
Yeah, it was honestly just a truth from you. It's like, we're going to get underway with game 2, and then game 2 had a problem. It's almost poetic in how sad it is.
Yeah, I'm going to comment on one other thing here to try and fill the gap. Resident maybe almost have a better chance to go first this week, because they have that series in hand, and they're only 3 behind, so they can still overtake Bravo in the remainder of this series, and then go on to really establish themselves at the top if they make the most of their second series. So hopefully they do get back in here and don't let these technical issues affect either of them too much, and we do see some proper fights for this top spot in the remaining 3 games. Not to say that the first one wasn't, it definitely was.
Absolutely, and another thing which is quite nice to see as well, is just in terms of the competitive integrity standpoint, is the fact that it was actually the team that led the previous game that did call that timeout, so it's not as if there's been early complacency causing those sort of mental problems within the players. We know that this is a genuine issue, and of course it's nice to be back reset under the perfect conditions here in game 2. As Talk is going to see this one to the side. Serenity throwing it all the way across back to the defensive corner. Very low boost for Harv now, who has to try and bait out a player, and he's actually made him look like a fool there.
Yeah, doesn't do anything for the Resident team, that player flying by. They have been battled back into their own half. JW's missed this one. Harv does not. RMD can't quite get onto it, and that was a big chance, even though it seemingly didn't go down as a shot.
It was a massive chance. And if only they were there just a second or so earlier, that's what they'll be hoping. As Harv 99 is going to drop this one down in front of the net. Just tantalisingly close for the defender, but he was wiped away with his dying breath.
Camera angle there to set that up was so good. Harv just watches Torque stream across the face of net and eliminate Frank from the defending line. Very, very satisfying goal for Fearless Bravo to see go in. And once again, they lead first.
They do, and that's going to be such a joyful way to put one away as well. It was so well worked between those two players upfield, and it's going to be complete misery, it has to be said, for Resonant as Serenity. It's going to poke this one to the backboard. Frank has no boost in the tank to really do too much with the follow-up, though, as RMD is going to fill in quite nicely. Harv around the side. There's been another disruption, another demo upfield, something you mentioned so much before this series began, and if there was just an inch more space in that midfield zone, could have been an extra one for Fearless.
Going to be another Fearless chance, so Harv's barreling his way through the middle of the pitch. In the end, stopped by Frank. He can't stop Torque on this one, though. He somehow finds Jack, and with two Resonant players left on the line, he threads the needle, and it's once again an excellent team goal from Fearless Bravo. They're linking up on all cylinders.
It's such a smart little drop-down pass as well. I think a lot of players could take to that ceiling and just act a little bit selfishly when they're in that position. They find that space, but no, the pass was just hammered straight down to the player directly underneath. It's another fantastic way to put another goal on the board for Fearless. This could be a juicy corner read, as well as JW Cinema follows up. Harv up next to fill in the next spot in the rotation, but Resonant might be able to have some comfort here.
I'm pretty sure that's the kind of situation I've screamed JW's name before. He's so good at finding those offensive nooks and crannies where you can drop the ball down, where the other team's not expecting it, because they had players ready to defend, but not in the way that they were required to, because there's just such an unorthodox chance from JW, and always the sort of thing he's looking to create for his team. As the 2-goal lead is now found, and last time 1-goal lead was enough. Well, it obviously wasn't overtime, but Resonant clearly aren't done yet. They have got a chance on the board there. It's 3 chances for for Frank now. None of them have gone in. This one's a big chance, though. The net is seemingly empty. Torque finds the demo and the clearance, though. Big defensive shift from him there.
Yeah, and Resonant's going to be feeling a little hard done by there, because that was 2 chances that they were so close to converting from. One definitely a mistake from their opposition, dribbling across their own back lines, but just seconds later we saw that counter-attack push, and it almost showed fruits of its labour as Jack downfield is going to redirect this one on target as well. You can see him lurking there from a mile away, just waiting for that cherry-pick chance, and yet again he's converted it.
Not entirely convinced by the Resonant positioning here, more like, because they were in possession and attacking going forward, but there's absolutely no one waiting for the pass from RND. Serenity and Frank were on opposite sides of the pitch pretty much, and it allowed lots of space for Bravo, which of course they took full advantage of. Torque with the hat-trick of assists now, and they definitely look like they're going to try and get themselves into this 2-game lead. Here is another one. Harv and JW now with 2 goals apiece.
Are you worried yet, Barmanatown?
Maybe slightly. Just slightly.
Just a tiny bit? Or are
It's
you...
only game 2, and there's still 100 seconds on the clock. And Resonant have had chances, but yes, it does seem like it's quite the dominant game for Fearless Bravo, doesn't it?
Yeah, this looks almost like perfection for Fearless Bravo, and I think the funniest thing is, in the statistical department, there's been 5 shots. Fearless Bravo have converted 4 of them. Resonant really aren't far behind. They have 4 shots of their own, make it 5 as RMD is wide of the mark. It probably wasn't going to matter in the long run. 3 goals to reclaim after that initial possibility would have still been a very, very tall order, but missing that is just going to hurt that tiny bit more.
And I'm not entirely sure, but it might have been a team clearance almost, because I think Serenity might have had the shot, but would need a replay on that one perhaps to make sure of what happened. This might be a 5th for Bravo, but Harv has to wait. Isn't going to risk anything considering how little they have to earn here. They already have their 4-goal lead. They don't particularly need another, and yet still searching for it. Harp can maybe pick this one up instead, just pushes it back, buys more time to get back for his team. And again, there's just a real struggle from Resident to make things count when they're going forward. They do not get the shut off. And we're back in the midfield. RMD cannot get a touch. Torque pushes it forward. Harv will pick it up. Bravo are just controlling this game 2 out and making sure that they go into game 3 with a dominant assailant lead, and definitely going to look to, at this point, sweep the series.
Absolutely, and I think the only thing Fearless Bravo are going to be looking for right now is to see who in their team comes out on top in terms of who wins that all-important MVP medal in this game. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that runs through players' minds when they're as comfortable as this right now in Fearless's position.
On top of that, they have already gone to first place in this conference. Resident can no longer catch them in this series. They can catch them this week with that series in hand, but Bravo will be very happy with the performance so far. In the end, it's Torque. He comes out with that MVP, trying to battle back Jack. He's a few behind at the moment in the overall stats, but that one will push him slightly closer. Especially, I mean, it's an impressive performance to get that MVP. 4 assists is not something you often see in Rocket League, and all 4 were pretty special.
Yeah, and it was just those interlinking plays so regularly during that game. Did we see them, such as when Torque took to the ceiling, dropped it down straight towards JW Cinema, and also the interlinking play straight from defense to offense as well, where JW Cinema also was just lurking downfield, ready to pounce on that pass. You can see that the chemistry is really drilled in for Fearless Bravo. They're approaching this series with so much confidence and so much understanding of how each other play as well. It's wonderful to see so far.
Yeah, and really means that we're looking towards this Resonance side to provide that fight back. They got to overtime in game 1, obviously, but it's a much less impressive display in game 2. They really couldn't handle Bravo coming forward. They just couldn't read those passes coming in from Torque and the way that Bravo were moving in the offensive third. So we've got to ask for more. All 3 of them have had their chances and have had moments of at least some sort of goodness going forward, some sort of positive manner, but mostly Bravo have been in the way and been preventing a lot of what they wanted to do, so they've got to find those in-betweens, got to find those gaps that Bravo have been finding on the other end.
Yeah, absolutely, and just to bring to light another one of Barmanisan's famous curses that he managed to somehow call one whole game in advance. There has been a PC crash, I think the direction of one of these teams, so again, we're going to try and push them in the lobby as soon as we can, but technical difficulties, you know, they happen, so do toilet breaks apparently.
Yeah, it appears I've just been asking for it with my pleas of having no technical difficulties. It's definitely happening this series, and yeah, PC crash, it's definitely not the sort of one you want to have, because it does lead the risk of perhaps it not being completely solved by the time the game starts, but hopefully it will be, and hopefully we do see a full-on 3v3 for the remainder of this series and no issues. Of course, there's going to be subs if it really goes that way, but I'm sure they'll be able to get back in and make sure we actually have a game 3 and 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And
There
I
we
think,
go.
Oh, there we go. That was nice and quick. That was basically on cue for you. I was going to say during this all-important break, Barmanisan, that Resonant are going to need to be thinking about how they can actually approach Fearless Bravo with any sort of conviction at the moment, because they just look so dominating when it comes to their spacing across the field, how well they're working with each other, and just so much solidity from this team so far. What do Resonant still have left in the tank?
And there's definitely been a couple of moments for me where Resident haven't looked so confident going forward. They've been out of sorts with each other and not paying attention to where they should be on the pitch, so they've got to make sure that when they're going forward, they're at least going with 2. Trying to find those chances again. They're being pegged back already. Seems like more of the same from Bravo, but don't get the lead quite within the first 10 seconds. Resonant are going to battle it back and maybe look to, for the first time this series, lead it on the first occasion, but again, Trinity so far back. He eventually gets to the ball, but means that Bravo had more chance to get back and deal with the inevitable attack pretty comfortably.
Oh, and if that bump did connect from Torque, that could have been an early goal for Fearless Bravo as well. There was 2 defenders back though, so there was some safety in numbers. If you want to go by that old adage as Serenity. Just going to throw this one to the corner. Torque working forwards individually. A lot of space for JW Cinema to find to talk downfield yet again. You can see how much space at the moment Resonant are just happy to give away. Their second and third players just sitting so deeply at the moment, and it's almost inviting the same sort of game that we previously had.
Here's a good chance for them, though. RMD shot saved, Serenity shot saved, and Bravo immediately take back possession, although the 50 is heading towards RMD. Resonant looking to try and find some pressure. They've really struggled to find consistent pressure. Here's another chance for Serenity. Harv battles the 50 away, though. Resonant still looking for this opening goal. RMD finds the flip reset, but it's only towards the corner. Harv clears it away to Serenity. They're still keeping consistent touches on the ball, but Bravo are seemingly handling everything they're being thrown.
It seems to be more than that as well, and with confidence, JW Cinema trying to throw a musty in the mix with very little boost to his name, but that's going to be all but an irrelevancy at the moment as RMD takes this ball to the wall. It's going to be followed up here by Serenity. That's a good beat up to the ceiling. It's a little bit awkward for Harv, but he's able to make quite a comfortable clearance given that situation. As Talk fills back in, there's going to be another touch, a double commit in fact from Fearless Bravo. Maybe one of the few opportunities we've seen Resonant had in recent times, but no connection made on that second touch.
It's ambitious from Serenity to go for. It's made slightly easier by the demo coming through, but still didn't find that second touch. Now Frank is the last player back. Just get a touch away, JW somehow to nice Serenity as we go in to the second half of Game 3. It's looking more and more like Resonant are just not going to find their way through. Fearless Bravo really showing up to the defensive end of this game.
For sure, but if there was just, well, maybe a half a second on that rotation back from JW Cinema, it could have been a goal for Resonant. They're looking a bit more sharp upfield. That's a demo chance for Resonant as well, and you can see Frankie's just got an open country road to his own. He just hits the ball downfield, and that's as simple as that, really.
Serenity with the whole half-field chase. Pinning Harv to the right side of the net. He cannot cycle back round in time. And it is indeed Resonant leading for the first time in this, I think, in the whole series. I don't think they've had a lead yet. And that will hopefully give them some confidence to keep on pegging back Fearless Bravo, where Game 2 they're really struggling to do that. Here's another chance for them, but Serenity's infield pass is to absolutely no one as Fearless Bravo take back control and look to immediately get back into this one.
Yeah, and that one was close to being an opportunity as Talk's actually going to add a bit of style, but Frank's done so well to get a soft first touch that they can control, and also a second as well with that flip reset. As the touch is laced downfield, a fortunate bump towards RMD has actually given him that 100 boost as well as the demos come flying through for this Resonance side. You can see they're approaching with a tiny bit more confidence right now. My only question is, how long can they keep that up?
They have been on top, I would say, for the whole of this game. They've had the better chances, and they're only out shooting 6-5, but they've got the lead, and they're still pegging Bravo back into their own half. They've been forced back to the red for now. RMD just takes JW away from this one. The double demo doesn't go anywhere because the rotation is clean. Bravo are left still chasing. RMD clears it out, and that might be the way forward for Resonant in this remaining minute. Just get it away when you can. Don't let Bravo keep those crazy attacks that they can mount going, and this one should have been the equalizer, but Torque can only find that inside post. Resonant with a little bit of a lifeline.
It's going to be so much heartbreak for Fearless Bravo in that one situation, but there is still some hope left alive with 30 seconds left on the clock. An infield pass towards Torque. No defenders wanting to push out. And that was a little bit sketchy. I was as fearful as you were in those moments, but zero boost in the tank. They had no choice. They had to sit there. Unfortunately, the shot just came straight to them. Oh my word.
They played to their outs. Unfortunately for Resonant, though, there were absolutely no outs to this crazy chance from Torque. Once again, it's a team play. Harv finding Torque, and the Norwegian doing the rest with a splendid double tap with only 12 seconds left. We are equal, and Resonant are not going to find their first game of the series that easily.
Yeah, I'm going to be putting my money on that being potentially the goal of the evening so far. That was absolutely beautiful from Torque. So well controlled. The pre-flip and the additional touches just proving of his mechanical abilities. And honestly, this Fearless Bravo side seems to be in such a league of their own when it comes to just how much mechanical control they have over their own individual efforts compared to pretty much any other team in this elite tier.
Bought them away back into Game 3, undoubtedly. That was mechanical ability being shown off from Torque, and despite that, they are the ones having to defend first in this OT. Torque, though, expertly brings it away from their own half, all the way down the left-hand side. He chases RMT down, and it's left on a platter for Harv after staring down the barrel of defeat for minutes on end. Within about 30 seconds, they've turned it around and gotten themselves up to a 3-0 scoreline in the series.
And they are definitely going to be cherishing that victory, even if it wasn't quite converted in the style that they might once would have thought. But Resonant, it was so much better in terms of their clinicality in this game and their presence on the field. They just looked to be in such good shape to take this game, and bar that one attack towards the end of the game by Torque, that gorgeous double touch, that could have been their game for the taking. And honestly, I almost feel sorry for them, Barmanistan.
Yeah, we are indeed left in a situation where a team that's gotten to 2 OTs is on 0 wins, and in a series where they could have gone top, they're now looking like they're going to be holding on to the top half of the table at all, as they are still on 21 wins, tied in 4th with Blaze. So they're really going to be looking to at least take something from this as we go into Game 4, try and find some steal where they haven't had it so far this series, because that was a game for the taking. That was their game to lose, and lose it they did. They gave Fearless Bravo the one chance they needed, and then they couldn't keep their cool in OT. Resonant left without a win so far, and Psycho, I'm once again going to that scared mentality of, oh no, I think Bravo are going to dominate.
Maybe so, and you know what? I think it would be one of the worst streaks in RSC history when it comes to the amount I've been present to witness sweeps in the last 2 days. The last 2 series of yesterday, or 2 days ago rather, on Tuesday, were sweeps. They were 4-0. They were dominating. Fearless Bravo, though, have proven that even they have a few chinks in the armour. They're not perfect. Nobody is in this game, and Resonant, like you say, this game could be quite important for them, because that all-important sort of game difference, the individual wins, can mean so much in this league.
Have not seeded just yet. They are going to try and convert to an attack here. Bravo once again take it away. Torque found by JW. Serenity misses this one, and JW just absolutely launches it to that far side. Bravo already into the lead. Oh my god, what a pre-jump. What a read.
Oh, it's so nice. Just between the two of them. Torque with yet another pre-flip to scoop it over to the corner, and the read was so casual. He was up in the air instantly, and the pressure from Resonant pretty much understandably wasn't there, because they were just waiting for their opportunity to strike, and they did so just that tiny bit too late once again.
No.
What a 50 that is. JW Cinema is literally a brick wall as he's walking down the field yet again on another Sunday drive of his, and just smashes it into that top right.
As much as the last 2 goals have been excellent by Bravo, Serenity has got to be kicking himself. The GM wasn't really waiting for the first one, maybe the other 2 were, but he had a chance to go for it, but he's left 0 boost, couldn't get there, and for this one, he just set it up. Left the 50 with a chance to go in from JW, and now Torque is on the board as well. Within a minute, Resonant have lost all of their Game 3 form, and have almost completely capitulated, not having any saves on the board, and Frank left stranded for that 3rd Bravo goal.
And could one of the beasts from the previous RSC season also make light of their name yet again here in the elite tier? It seems to look like it jolly well could go that direction towards the end of the season, towards that playoff stage. They look so strong at the moment. 3 goals up, make that 2, as there is a little giveaway from the opposition in Fearless Bravo. Frank, I'm not sure he's going to have an easier shot than that today, but they're going to need a little more than that to get back into things.
2 goals to make up at this point. Bravo cannot let any more mistakes like that happen, or it definitely will breathe life into Resonant. Bravo pick up this kick-off. RMD is going to intercept, and definitely got to be asking Resonant to be aggressive, to not let Bravo have the space, where they've been giving them a lot of space previously, so I think it's down to Resonant to make this change happen and to make the most of that giveaway that they've just been given and continue on in Game 4, not let it be the sweep that they so desperately want to avoid.
Yeah, and I'd love to see that sort of intensity just driven a little bit higher the way of Resonant. In that previous game, I think what really did them some favours is just how closely they were supporting one another downfield and just keeping that attack going and keeping their presence alive. And in the first 2 games, I think it's fair to say we didn't see too much of that, as that might be one final slip-up, but saved away at the last moment by Serenity. As JW Cinema is going to try and put a shot on target, half, with a back pass towards him. He's going to try and catch something and throw it over to the backboard, but really nice clear there from Serenity.
Yeah, trying to redeem himself. A couple of nice clearances away when he had to be alert. Trying to battle back now our Resonant. They have it in the blue half. RMD picks up a demo. No one back post for Bravo, but doesn't matter as Torque still finds clearance. Serenity maybe looking for a touch, do a teamie, but can't find it. And Harv's going to find Torque. The 1-2's completed, but Harv isn't in position to shoot. We go back into the blue half. Serenity chasing this one. Doesn't get contact. Left is Frank to shoot, but he can only find the crossbar. That could have been another one back, but fortunately for Resonant, they're already back in their own half.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for them, but there is still some time on their side as Frank is going to throw a ball infield. JW Cinema getting a demo on RMD, which might just delay this rotation a tad. As Torque drops it down, half. In hot pursuit of that ball into the corner, Serenity yet again trying to do all of the heavy lifting when it comes to throwing the ball out of his own back lines, but RMD with a wonderful touch.
Bravo again, comfortable to keep it in their own half and launch the attack when they are the ones that want to do it. And they've already forced Resonant all 3 onto their back line. JW with the fake. Frank has to catch it away and it sets it up for Torque, but he can only fly it into the backboard. And RMD picks this one up now. Has space to work with, but not really the boost as JW points it to the backboard. But no Bravo player was waiting to follow it up. It drops down, and Frank, once again, left with a relatively easy shot.
Yeah, he's representing the halo, and he might also have God on his side, given those previous 2 goals for Frank. He's going to be smiling right now, but 1 minute 20 to put in a third. That is all that matters. That's all that's going to be in the minds of Resonant right now, as Frank does push forward with quite an aggressive challenge there. RMD, I fear he's just pushed a little bit too wide, and Torque is given the open space, and that may be the nail in the coffin.
Bravo knew that the previous 2 goals were avoidable, and they immediately put one on that was not avoidable for Resonant. They maybe could have rotated a little bit quicker, they maybe could have been a little bit more alert, but still Bravo are too quick. They punch home the 4th one, and with a minute left, push the lead back to 2 and force Resonant to make yet another move where they've really been struggling to make them in this whole series.
Yeah, and JW Cinema. That's such a lovely air dribble, and it's going to be
God.
5 as
All
well.
the
You
way.
just, oh, it's lovely. So sometimes you just have to sit back and enjoy moments like these.
He finally gets his hat-trick. Frank cannot get back in time. And Bravo are sitting atop of the world and atop of Elite Glaciers.
Yep, that's definitive. That's now. Oh,
Oh my god.
oh no. Half. Half. Oh,
RMD.
it is RNG, but it was also half. It was a combined effort.
Clearly. You need a combined effort for goals like that. Harv just lets RMD walk through it. Definitely seal the Resonant fit, as JW's going to look to get another one. Can he get 4? No. Frank will deny that one. Resonant looking to maybe keep some ounce of dignity, even though most of that has at this point been lost. They are 30 seconds away from their confirmed 4-0 sweep, but here's one from Frank. He gets his own hat-trick going the other way.
It's lovely to see a Frank hat-trick. That was a really nice little touch there, a deft touch towards that top right, beautifully sniped. And I'm not sure what to think anymore, because Resonant are still giving it their all. I still believe that in this series so far, they have looked to be a strong side. I don't believe that a 4-0 scoreline is almost representative of what we've seen so far. But then I'm going to reflect on all of the comments we've made about Fearless Bravo's domination, and then I just sort of begin to realise why again.
had a lot of series like this where the losing team doesn't feel like it should be going down in a manner like this, but Bravo have definitely stepped up and given reason for this 4-0 sweep. Yes, there were 2 OTs, but that maybe just shows all the different aspects. They have the ice when it comes down to the close moments, and they also have that potential to absolutely control games and prevent the other team from having any sort of hope. There was a 1-goal game at one point. Resident got 2 back, but Bravo never took a second look after that. Slapped home another 4 goals. And they do indeed take the series in a 4-0 fashion. They are tonight's victors. Are they going to find an 8 to cap it off? No, Harv slams it into the crossbar.
Yeah, and massive, massive congratulations to Fearless Bravo for rounding out the final match, or the final series rather, of the day with so much style and comfortability. They delivered us not only some fantastic gameplay, but also some quality moments individually as well. We saw the likes of Talk with some of those pre-flip beauties that found balls landing in the back of the net, and just those team efforts as well, fully deserved for them.
Very impressive showing. And they'll be very happy with that. They came in this knowing that Resident could have overtaken them, but there's absolutely no doubt of who's on top between these 2 teams after tonight, and Bravo with that overtake on the Profits. They're looking very comfortable in that first spot. Resident can't even catch them now. Resident had the series in hand going into this, but they've been defeated so thoroughly in this series that they definitely cannot go top, at least this week. So Bravo will be very happy to put themselves back on top. And as you say, they've had a great season previously, and definitely looks like this RSC11 is going to be more of the same from them.
Yeah, and honestly, I think they're going to be my favourites if they do make it towards that playoff stage, because I can't even imagine a team that can sort of replicate that sort of performance. And I know that we're looking at sort of the developing players who still haven't got too much competitive experience in the grand scheme of things in terms of European competition at large, but when you see players who are so comfortable in their own skin to be doing stuff like we saw today, it's proving of their talents.
It definitely is, and the consistency across games, across series, across seasons is what mounts up to that continual improvement and those aspirations towards the higher and higher ends of Rocket League, and try and hopefully see some more of that. We are looking to get a Bravo interview. It will hopefully be Jack who will talk, and we have him in the booth here with us. Jack, congratulations on your 4-0 sweep.
Thank you.
Well, Jack, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you a question because it's evident to me that you are one of the strongest sides in not only this conference but perhaps just the entirety of the elite tier at the moment. How far do you think you can take it?
Firstly, I'm going to have to say I'm obliged to agree to that. I do think we are one of the strongest sides. It definitely feels that way anyway.
There.
Yeah. I think we can take it all the way. I'm very confident with the team I have. There was a little change. There's a new addition to the roster with Harv. It's been a little bit of a process to get used to a new player and a different type of player, but I think as you've just seen on the screen just there, we're coming in full force and we're very confident.
Yeah, and I mean, we've obviously that's about your whole season's aspirations, but even within this game, you looked confident, and the moments where it was tight, you took it away. So do you have anything in particular you think you did in those 2 OTs when Resonant were providing the most opposition that you did to take it home, or do you think it was just instinct and you were just playing to try and knock Resonant down as quick as possible?
If I'm completely honest, I mean, I wish I could show you guys, but when it was going to OTs, we have a bit of a different mindset to the way other teams might, and the simple solution for Fearless Bravo is we just start singing songs. We drop the comms, we start singing our favorite songs like Barbie Girl and things like this, and the vibes are just there. So yeah, we know each other's positions without coming. It's beautiful. It's amazing. You would have to be there.
Okay.
Excellent.
So you're telling me that the secret behind this beautiful esports, which I've been following for so long, is to sing songs when the going gets tough?
That is correct, and that is also a great song. We might use that next time.
Wise idea. I think my next question was going to be, what songs are your favourite in moments like those? But yeah.
100%, that's a really great song. Most of the songs we sing are like childhood memory songs. So as I said, Barbie Girl is definitely a top tier winner because we all know the lyrics, so we're all in sync, and it just sounds amazing. And the gameplay with it.
Wow, I mean, this feels like a Kevin 07 response from APAC. This is just a sort of out of the box thinking that Rocket League clearly requires in order for improvements to be made. And you know, were you using this strategy last season as well, or do you think this is the sort of improvement you've made in the off season in order to try and boost your chances of getting that trophy?
I've got to say, it's definitely a new addition in this season. I think it comes down to who you're playing with, and I've just got to say, like, I appreciate the other two boys so much. The vibes are always so high, no matter what, whether, you know, the score is the other way around, and we're having a really tough time. The mindset is just so solid. It's like cement for us, and I'm pretty sure we're all really good friends now, so it really does help.
Yeah, and I think that's telling of these sort of community environments. It certainly does have that going for it in terms of the friendships you can make, the joy you can have playing with each other, and just taking it easy, like you say, in terms of even just singing a song when the going gets tough. It's awesome to hear, honestly, and it's what these leagues are about. But I think on a more serious note, I think you guys firmly have your sights on the playoff brackets now. In terms of this tier overall, is there any teams that you're looking out for to see potentially even in a grand finals?
To be honest, it's tricky. The elite this season, at least, is full of completely new offspring. Like the guy on our team, Talk, he's a complete noob to RSC, but he's here in full force. I've not actually seen every player yet, so there could be some potential that I'm missing. But as far as I'm aware, I would like to play Darkness in the final, especially the new roster with Renko. Renko actually started the season on Fearless, so it's a little bit of a friendly, competitive environment between me and him, and I'd love to play that guy in the final.
Well, thank you very much, Jack, for joining us here in the booth and providing some very entertaining responses. And once again, congratulations for taking home the 4-0 victory here tonight against Resonant.
Thank you.
Well, okay, folks, I believe that is indeed our last series for today. We've had 3 spectacular affairs in each of Challenger, Master, and Elite. But until Sunday, that will do us. Thanks, of course, to all of our sponsors in the background providing this RSC11. Thanks to Murray in the other background providing all of the goings-on for this stream. And thanks to all of my co-casters, and of course you, Psycho, for joining me. Until that next 3 matches on Sunday, that is it from RSC. Good night.